Welcome to Tradespoon in Yellow Tunnel. My name is Vlad I'm CEO and founder of Tradespoon. And today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using our technology. So we're starting a little bit late on YouTube. Welcome. Thank you for joining. Let's do the welcome to Tradespoon. My name is Vlad I'm CEO and founder of Tradespoon. And today we're going to have a live trading room open to trade stock and options using our technology. For those of you who are new, welcome. This is my brief bio. My background is technology. We build a lot of models, neural networks to find signals in the market, and then we use these signals to trade on a daily basis. Disclosures are very important. I encourage you to visit the link on your screen, optionscreening.com, so you can understand the risk associated with trading stock or options. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not registered with FINRA nor SEC. I'm showing you what I do in my own account based on my own risk tolerance level for general education information purposes only. Please consult your financial advisor prior to making any trading decisions. All right, trading psychology. Let's jump into main event. All right. Bob said, party pooper Powell. Okay. So yield is at 4.5, right? We touched 4.5 retesting, kind of an important level. We talked about this level that expectation was 25 basis point rate cut. Powell delivered on that, but it's all about forward guidance. And forward guidance basically says there will be less rate cuts. And I'm reading median estimate of the federal rate cuts in 2025 was raised to 3.9 from 3.4, basically by half a point, which is a lot, right? I think that before the projected was, I think, 4 rate cuts. So now they're probably projecting maybe 2 to 3 rate cuts next year, or maybe no rate cuts. So now, obviously, that's not a bullish signal. Rates are up and standing on an important level. Again, usually I like to wait today and tomorrow, right? Because everybody's digesting this news. People are feeding the new data into the models. All these models are based on interest rates. So it's going to take to rerun these models, find yield projections. And so volatility is probably going to remain today and tomorrow, right? And closes. If Friday closes above 450, then, it opens the door to 5, right? And that's market is going to continue to sell off, right? Dollar is same kind of, it's highly correlated to these interest rate moves. It's at 108, and it already broke 107 level. So I think it's a multi-year high, right? Yeah, you have to go back to 2023 to see rate at that 2022 actually. Right? You have to go back to November of 22, where the kind of the end of the peak of the sell-off to find this level. So dollar is extremely strong. That's negative. 10-year yield is extremely strong. That's negative. If dollar breaks through this 108 level, continues to grind higher to 110. If 10-year continues to grind higher, right? 10-year, right? We already broke through this level. Right, if we break above this level, then I think the sell-off will accelerate, right? And one of the main problems right now is positioning, right? That everybody, including me, right, basically says, Christmas rally is coming. Nobody's going to steal the Christmas except, if there is any surprises, and we'll see if this is. I think it is a surprise, right? That's why the markets are moving the way they are. So once this Friday expires and all of that gamma disappears, right? All of that gamma disappears. That's all the positioning, right? Billions of dollars worth of gamma is going to go away. Sorry, wrong symbol. So 12/20, January 17, and February 21. So most of the gamma is in December 20, and that's coming off on Friday, right? Because of the expiration, right? One of the biggest expiration, actually, one of the biggest expirations is December expiration, end of the year, the leaps expire. There's a lot of, structured nodes gets, repositioned, closing. This year, structured nodes are all into forward. So all that gamma expires. January has some gamma, about a little bit more than last time, but still significantly less. And you can tell in terms of gamma right now, we already broke to 600, right? 594 level. So we're below 600, and now we're going into this 595, 585. Not a lot of positioning, so nothing can hold the market at this point. That's why you can see kind of a very quick sudden move to 50-day moving average. So I would watch the yield. I would watch, now we're at 595, right? I think there's a gap, 593, 590. Next, this gap is 590, right? So we'll see if this gap is going to be closed. That pulled back last time, right, back in November. 50-day moving average doesn't hold, and the gap doesn't hold somewhere between 590 and 594, right? Well, next level is 585. Next level will be 585. So bulls want to hold this level, right? Ideally, bulls do not want to give up this level, this gap. If that gap does take away 585, right, the post-election gap, right, and this is much stronger position. So that's my thoughts. Value stocks already oversold, right? I was reading somewhere this is like the longest streak in a long time, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13 days since the recession, right? Of this downward momentum, right? Probably last time without any green candlesticks. Yeah. I mean, pretty long time ago. So it is extremely oversold. Right, the Fed decision is the trigger. 2 standard deviation move. It's very weak, so we'll see. We'll see where it's gonna go. But the problem is that it's below 50-day moving average, and at this point, it's on its way for 200-day moving average. So, if if the yield continues to go higher, you have support on the value stocks, and QQQ are also overbought, right? So they're gonna move fast. The next level is 514, and then, bigger support is 500. So I would watch 500. But again, one day doesn't set the trend. I would watch and see what happens next. Any questions on technology, value stocks, spiders, and we'll see. So Bitcoin is, again, important level, 100,000. That was a break. If it dips below, that would be an issue. NVIDIA give up most of its gain. iBit, down 5%. We have Google down. We have sharp drop in China, copper, metals and miners. Across the board, right? Interest-sensitive stocks down the most, right? Makes sense. Small caps leading to charge to the downside. ARC Innovation is down 5%, leading to the downside. Let's look at the watch list. So whether high beta stock like ARC Innovation, high beta, PayPal, CRDO, all the winners, all the recent winners reversing its gains because of the high interest rate. United Airlines pulled back, Citigroup, strong pullback, SRE pulled back, Wells Fargo pulled back. You have a sharp pullback in Tesla, had a big rally, so Tesla is back lower. Amazon, LA Lilly, Netflix. So NVIDIA is the only one that's positive because it was oversold. Right, kind of bouncing back from the support, but still, it's given up most of the gains from today. It was up another 4% today. But Netflix pulling back, Google pulling back, Meta, Apple, Microsoft. So all the Magnificent Seven are down except NVIDIA. Interest-sensitive sectors, gold, silver down significantly, biotech, small caps, ARC, banks. Home builders, metals, and miners. All right. Any questions so far? VIX approaching 20. VIX is approaching 20, right? So, I mean, everybody's on the edge. That makes sense, right? It could be a 2018 scenario, right, where Powell kind of did the same thing in 2018, 6 years ago. That wasn't fun. Spiders. This sell-off, right? I mean, it started before, right? Because they kind of anticipated, but in December he went out and say, "Listen, we're going to lower interest rates. We're going to raise interest rates," and market just dropped 10%, like in literally 1 week. So, yeah, it was down 10% in 1 week, and then it rebounded, right? And then it rebounded. Kind of right around Christmas, right around Christmas, it started rebounding. So, I mean, obviously this is not 2018, but the expectation of interest rates cuts has changed, right? And everybody's sitting on the edge. So I'm watching 4.5. We'll see where we end tomorrow and Thursday. Any questions? All right, let's review the positions. I mean, if you have stock, you can wait. If you have, February, January position, you can wait. December, you probably cannot. So I did get fill in Microsoft yesterday, so I'm out of Microsoft spread, so that's good. That helps. Yep, Microsoft is down 2%. All right, next, Amazon and Citigroup. I mean, these are stocks, so I have time. I mean, obviously, strong uptrend. It did reverse all of the gains from this week and last week. I mean, I would be a buyer into pullback. The consensus is that it's still a strong economy. Still, earnings are going to be better than expected. Fed might not cut interest rates as aggressively as everybody thought, but but the consensus that market is going to go higher highs, higher lows. But there will be pullbacks, whether it's 5%, 10%, 15%. Well, I don't think anybody can tell you, right? You can expect the worst, but that's why cash is important, right? Having cash is extremely important. And stocks, you can hedge it, right? If you have 100 shares, you can buy put or put spreads. If you have a small position, I think I closed half of the Amazon position, so now I'm going to wait and see how far it's going to sell off. I think 200, I would definitely be a buyer, but for now, I'm just waiting. Citigroup, I mean, same thing, right? I mean, it did break this downtrend, but it's still in strong uptrend. So I think banks be main beneficiary. We just need to see what the 10-year, if it's, if you see that it's moving to 5, obviously banks are going to pull back. OKE Energy, interest-sensitive sectors, they're going to be beat up the most, right? So we have 4 weeks in a row, OKE just kind of relentlessly going lower, giving up most of the gains since earnings. And XLP in general, kind of the same price pattern. I mean, XLP is sitting at the support, so it's extremely oversold, right? So for now, I'm just going to wait, see what happens. PayPal, this is a January position, so I do have to be careful about January position. It is down 4%, 86, so I have 85.90 spread. So for now, I'll wait. Just on one day, we could have a reversal tomorrow. That is also possible. But for now, I'm going to wait. I do have Spider 602 call. I did put that trade yesterday. Let's get it removed. Okay. So for now, the signal is Friday, so I'm waiting until Friday. SRE, still on SRE. Let's look at SRE. Also pulling back, it's sitting right at the September 22, right, the breakout level. So this is important level for SRE. If it breaks that level, if interest going higher, then I would get out of this trade. I still have SRE position. Texas Instruments. It's doing a little bit better than the rest of the market. Looks like most of the sellers are gone. It's sitting at this multi-year breakout, right? 2022, 2023, 2024, right? It broke to this level, now sitting at this support. So for now, I'm holding on the stock. United Airlines is also January, 90.95. United Airlines is down together with the rest of the market. I'm going to wait. I have January. See what happens next. Okay, December. This I don't have time. XLF December, I thought we actually going to have an opposite reaction. But, so at this point, the spread is going in, I need to see, well, let's see how much money is left in that spread. Okay, so it's a lot more than half, right? So I put $3.80, it's $1.90, so it's more than half. Okay, so I'm going to get out of XLF. December, we could have a reversal tomorrow, we could have continuation. I don't know. So since I don't know, I'm going to close and at least recover half of my, less than half of my losses. Okay, so I'm out of XLF. So December's trades, I would propose to close, right? Friday's expiration. January, depends on your location, you can wait. All right. Bob, Fred, John, Patrick, Ted, Bill. Welcome back, Bill. Haven't seen you in a long time. This is great. Thank you for attending. So that's XLF trade. So December, I mean, we could have a sharp reversal tomorrow because everything is oversold and yield is way overbought and people might just overreact in the initial algorithms. Or we could have continuation, right? We could have continuation. For now, I'm out of XLF, out of Microsoft. You know, this is yesterday trimmed half of the Amazon position. PayPal, I'm in PayPal. Any questions? VIX approaching 20. Yeah, so VIX is important, but the chart of the day is the 10-year yield, right? I would watch 10-year yield. I mean, 2-year yield you can watch. 5-year yield, probably same patterns. 30-year yield, same patterns. But a lot of people are watching this yield, and I think the fear is that if it continues kind of run away, that it goes to 4, 7, and 5, right? And that would be bearish for the market. And there's no positioning, right? And we have expiration on Friday. So let's see. Do we want to put on a hedge? That is a good question. QQQ is definitely overbought and probably will lead the market to the downside. So maybe a small trade, 535, 530 QQQ hedge. Let's see, January trade option. I'm doing a hedge. QQQ will probably sell the most. Vertical. Let's see, $5 spread. Well, let's do more, $10 spread. January 2025 monthly. It looks like everybody's trading systems are slow. Vertical. $5 strike difference. Let's see, January. Okay, 520, 515. Okay, 520, 515 spread. Okay. $1.80 buy to open. $1.75. So to January 520, 515 was the idea that it's going to break, you know, maybe stay above 50-day moving average, but break to the 520 level. Okay. So 520, 515 spread, I'm risking $1.74 to make $3.20, right? So I'm hedged, you know, $3.20. And this is basically just to see if, to, you know, hedge my long position. Any questions? Yeah, so Spider's at 50-day moving average. QQQ is not at 50-day moving average. Small caps pierced through the 50-day moving average. It actually looks like it broke through this uptrend. So small caps are a problem. Let's put some trade on small caps. You have small caps, you can hedge small caps too. Okay. Look at my personal account, look at what do I have. Any questions? So I'm just looking at IWM. It's obviously pretty sharp pullback, unexpected high interest rates. So you do have stock. I do have stock, so I'm just hedging with the put spread. And then let's see. Any questions? In terms of hedging, LA Lily, let's see, LA Lily trade. Doesn't look good. NVIDIA's turning negative. Let's see NVIDIA. Yeah, NVIDIA just turned negative as well. Let's see. AT&T, some of the consumer staples. TNT is not dropping, so it's fine. We talked about XLF. Okay, XLF is dropping. I'm hedged. CNXOP. It's a sharp pullback. Okay. Okay. All right, so look to XOP. I'm fine with XOP. Okay. All right, so I'm fine with XOP. XLS, I'm fine. TLT, yes. NVIDIA. NVIDIA. Okay. So far, so good. Any questions? I forgot about Wells Fargo. Okay. I forgot that I have an open order on Wells Fargo. And it did below, and I just got executed. Okay, so I have to close it tomorrow. So we'll see. Wells Fargo. So it did get filled at 350, which is 68.50. 68.50. Okay. I mean, still post-election gap, right? I'm looking at DIA. Let's see. So okay, DIA closed post-election gap, and let's see XLF. And XLF is about to close the election gap. Okay. bought half of them. Thank you. Bill, welcome back. I'm glad you can make it. Spiders are at 50. I mean, Spiders is at 50. I mean, everything is oversold. Spiders is below 50. It's basically at the post-election price. But I think it's, tomorrow and Friday, if we are above 450, tomorrow and Friday, we close, I don't know, 460, maybe 470. I mean, we just went 10 points. I mean, I don't think it's going to be 460, 470, but let's say let's say we close at 455, 458. I think that would be bearish for the market, right? And the biggest problem is that there's no positioning, and you have expiration, right? So the doors are open for the expiration, right? All that gamma disappears on futures, on options, on structured notes. All of that gamma disappears, which is now is what, $11 billion, and people are going to reposition. And that's the problem, right? That nobody kind of expected, right? I was, all about seasonality, blah, blah, blah. But, I did say at least that, if there is a negative surprise on forward guidance, then things could get interesting. And it looks like they are, Next to down, approaching down. I mean, I think this is an opportunity, right? I think this is where you have to have cash, right? This is where you have to have cash. Maybe put some, like if you have QQQ 100 shares, I would put spread, right? If you have small caps 100 shares, I would put a put spread, right? Because you just don't know how far it's gonna go, right? So I would do this, but then I would definitely have cash. That's why I always said, like, have 30% of your portfolio in cash, because at least right now the consensus, even if there's less interest rate cuts, the consensus is that, well, we're still going lower lows on interest rates. There still should be, even if it's, another 50 basis points, it should not be 5%, right? The highest was on 10-year yield was what, 5? 23, 22. Yeah. So the highest we got was 5%, right? But, we did cut, how many was it? 1 percentage point now. So 425. And then even if it's 2 cuts, target rate, what did it say? 3.5? Sorry. Target rate, Fed target rate is 3.9, from 3.4 to 3.9. But it shouldn't be 4.5, right, on 2-year yield, right? Usually 2-year yield and their target rate kind of the same. So it's obviously, at some point, people will realize it's overdone, right? They're overdone, and once people realize that this pullback is overdone and earnings are still strong, I think buyers will come in. It's just right now, nobody wants to stay in front of the train. So, but I would keep the cash, and, personally, if it does get 4.7, 4.8, 4.5, if we do have this exaggerated reaction because the gamma is disappearing, people are going to start hedging. They will, just like I bought QQQ put spread, Fred bought maybe some QQQ put spread, maybe Bob, and then it's going to go, and this thing is going to grow. And then once this position a little bit better, then people are going to start buying. The timing is difficult, right? I don't know if Powell just stole our Christmas. Possible. It could be 2018. Could be 2018, where in 1 week it's 10% down. I mean, we're already 5% down, probably. What are we down? Close, right? 586. We're 4%. So let's assume 5. I mean, another 5%. Nobody's gonna be surprised, right? So that will probably take. So if we are 4%, I mean, if end of the year we're down 7%, I would not be surprised, right? Nobody can tell you we will not have, because at this point there is no earnings, there is no Fed, and it's kind of open field, right? So there is no news. So last time I think like in 2018 the news was Powell came back and said, "Listen, sorry, I misspoke, and we're not going to cut rates," right? In 2018, it will be probably something like this, where Powell has to come out and say, "Listen, you guys are overreacting. We are going to continue lowering rates," something like that. But it takes time, right? It takes time. That's why you need to be patient. Just wait, and I think long term is still intact, right? The long term is still intact. It's going to be tough to break long term uptrend on spiders. I mean, did predict 563 on spiders for December, 575. So it's 563 model predicted. Yeah. So if it's at 563 and that's what model predicted, I would not be surprised. Like something positive has to happen in the market. But first thing first, one day doesn't set the trend. Let's see what tomorrow looks like, and the gap, right? If spiders can hold on to the gap, because the rest of the market already gave up the gap. It's actually broke through the gap, right? So we're getting close to these oversold conditions. Well, I think we're getting close. Okay. Any other questions? Must be trying to cool the economy. Yeah, I mean, bottom line, we talked about that retail are still very strong. I mean, inflation is going down, right? So, but I think, he does want to. I think there's just too many animal spirits in the system, right? And that's a reflection of Bitcoin, right? So he put a little cold water on everybody, but I don't think it's changing the course of the economy. So we'll have to wait and see. Any other questions? We do have a webinar. I forgot to invite people to the webinar. Let's send that webinar invite. Forgot to invite everybody. So it's at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. So 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. I'm going to send that right now to everybody. You guys are always welcome on Yellow Tunnel. You can always go to Yellow Tunnel and under Trading Discipline. $7 p.m. So today. So 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. You can always click here. But we'll talk more about this sell-off. Let's see. Anything green on the board? Anything green? Anything green? Anything green? Wow, 76. Talking about roller coasters. Unbelievable. Okay. This does look pretty ugly. Yeah, so all high beta selling off the most, but even banks, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, they're all kind of just jumping off the cliff. Let's see, silver. Silver is also oversold. Great. The 10-year yield is still sitting, let's see, 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Let's see how we're closing. At 451. All right. Hopefully I can see you at the close, at the strategy roundtable today at 7 p.m. If you have time, please join me. Bill, welcome back. So glad to see you again. YouTube, thank you for participating. If you find this information valuable, please hit subscribe, share with your friends and family. And tomorrow morning, I will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you very much. Thank you for attending. We have a lot of people today. And we'll see you soon. Thank you. One thanks, I guess buy TLT would be a good move. Well, yeah. I mean, if you think if you think that 4.5 will hold, you can buy any of these, anything that sold off a lot, small caps, let's say, you know, QQQ, Tesla, it will rebound. But if it doesn't, it will rebound the other way. Uber is green. Wow, that's good. Okay, Uber is green, but it's been selling off. Well, that's a good sign, right? Stocks that got annihilated before this are coming to, you know, that sell-off is coming to an end or approaching an end. So I think value stocks, you know, 200-day moving average, it's August highs, you know, this is where it's getting oversold, right? The only issue I think is this, again, positioning, there is just no gamma. And that could be an issue, right? It's like it's an open field. So that's not good. People need to start hedging their position. Boeing is green today. Wow, Boeing is green today. That when Boeing doesn't sell off on the market, you know, this is, you know, there's no sellers in the system. So, and it's a clean breakout. Good call, Fred. Thank you. Thank you for pointing that out. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Thank you.